Rolling.
Sirens on.
Rolling.
Go for it.
Yo, 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 yo. What up, man? Welcome to Mezzo Forte Sportz. That's right, Bar Talk. Yo, 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 yo. We're checking out with Drew. What do we have in today's edition? As always, we have our fearless host, Danny BMD, in the studio. Nice to see you, buddy. And me, yeah, with your hype man, Super Bad Art. We're going to be talking a lot of sports. And you know how we do it. We do it South Texas style. Let's get into it. Pass the mic to Dan. Go for it, bro.
What up, what up? Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to Mezzo Forte Sportz. Coming to you live from San Antonio, Texas, to your ears. Reminds of sports time for your free time. What up, what up? This is your host, Danny BMD. How's everyone doing? And how did your team do this week? Yeah, I know. First of all, I just want to give a round of applause to all the, teams, the college teams. Most of the, I think the season's already ended for all the teams, the college, specific college football. It's not going to come until next year. I mean, we're going to have to go right into bowl season or whatever, right? But, we just should really kind of think about, how, like, the season, as fast as football comes, as fast as football leaves, right? So, just kind of want to give a shout out to all the college kids. It was a tough season. It was the first season right after, like, we shut down complete for COVID. So it's still a little kind of tough and weird to figure out, but, that's that. I do have Mr. Superfan Art here today. I want to give it a round of applause. That's the first, of course. We do have a lot of stuff to talk about today. We're going to do a little bit of, I guess, a lot of diamond talk today, actually, just because I know we haven't gotten right into some of our baseball talk. It's been a while, and I know Art has a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. We'll have him go right into that as we start over here. Before that, though, how you been, Art?
Doing fine, man. Good to be here on this lovely Thursday evening. Currently just watching some of this Thursday night football. While there still is Thursday night football, we mentioned last time that with pro football they might actually not have Thursdays anymore. Or they might have some random Saturday games.
Yeah.
And it's gonna get a little bit crazy now that we're in the second half of the season. It's the Vikings and Steelers in action right now. Our Spurs are currently trying to handle their business with the Denver McNuggets.
Yeah.
They're looking pretty decent right now. The Nuggets are shorthanded, but no excuse. A W's a W. So hopefully by the end of the show, we could have them as the victors, and I'll talk about that later on. But no, there's definitely a lot to look forward to for this weekend. I know Cowboys got a very pivotal game against division rival Washington football team. Going to be talking a lot about that. We'll briefly cover a little bit of MLS. We haven't done it in quite a while, but we're already actually at the finish line for Major League Soccer. We got the MLS Cup up for grabs on Saturday afternoon. I'll give you the preview for that. And as you mentioned, we haven't talked baseball, but there's the biggest elephant in the room is this lockout. I'll give you the who, what, when, where, why, and how, all about that good stuff. But now, just want to give a shout out to all of our viewers out there, whatever platform you all are watching us on. Just give us a subscribe, throw a like in there. If you're going to be hating on us, by all means, hate on us. Just keep it clean. If you want to comment, we got a comment section on Twitch and YouTube. We'll try to see if we could answer some of y'all's comments live on air if possible. But just thank you all for your continued support. It means a lot to us, so we do appreciate it. Other than that, anything else you want to say to our viewers, Danny, before we dive into sports?
No, just again, just like I was saying, thank you so much for supporting, guys. We're gonna get just towards the end of our season, what we called season zero. What is that, Danny? What's that? It's not season one. So, we originally kind of started. We didn't really kind of know what this was gonna be, and then ended up turning into a podcast show. So we're gonna actually just start really pushing into your podcast, so you guys can actually just listen to us, not and get do a little bit more of organized segments, more people with super fans from different sports and teams, and just gonna get your everyday bar talk with just about your sports, local sports and stuff like that, instead of listening to sometimes your local news and stuff like that. It's kind of the same thing over and over and over again. Or even if you want to be like, oh, I want to call in, I want to say something, but nothing ever happens. Just come with us. You can vent here all you want. We got you. But other than that, again, thank you so much, guys, for supporting us. We're gonna go right into our Diamond Talk with Art. How you doing, Art?
Doing good. I knew this segment would already be on the slate of things to talk about, and it's a very big thing. And we're already postseason in baseball, or off season, excuse me, rather. But we have a lot of questions before we can even start an opening day. Hopefully that could even happen. So just I'll dive right into it.
Whoa! What do you mean?
Oh no!
What's going
I'll
on?
I'll tell you what I mean.
Oh.
At 11:59 p.m. Eastern Time last Wednesday, the collective bargaining agreement between Major League Baseball and Major League Baseball Players Association expired. So after that, at 12:01 last Thursday morning, the league informed the players that it had locked them out, beginning the game's first work stoppage in more than 25 years.
Oh no! You got knocked the fuck out, man!
So how did we get here? What is a lockout? And why now? Well, the last deal between Major League Baseball and the MLB was negotiated back in 2016. The current collective bargaining agreement covers everything from how long the season will last to what kind of per diem players might possibly get on the road. It also addresses some of the greater economics of the game, such as free agency and arbitration. And it ended at midnight last Wednesday. So pretty much not even like a few minutes after that happened, the owners locked out the players, hoping to push the union into a more urgent state of negotiation. It's essentially the antithesis of a player strike. Since players don't get paid in the offseason, nor are there games, there's nothing for them to strike over. Instead, the league chose to halt all player activity as it relates to their teams. So no free agent signings, no use of team facilities. In fact, no contact of any kind between a team and player is allowed until a new agreement is reached. How long is this lockout expected to last? Could games maybe even be lost next year? The answer is, well, yes, games could be lost. That's always a possibility once a work stoppage occurs. But with 3 months until the regular season begins, it would be shocking if 2022 didn't go a full 126 games. There's a chance spring training doesn't even start on time, using that period as maybe a soft deadline to force some issues to get resolved. But we're far from that happening. Both sides are already lost a lot of money during the pandemic. Anything short of a full season would be another devastating blow to the sport, both economically and from a public relations standpoint.
Dude,
so what is
dude, especially the stadiums right now? The stadiums are it's really, really bad. Like people are trying to go and it's weird.
I mean, you had a season where you couldn't have any fans, and then finally fans were starting to fill up those ballparks. It was looking good, a sense of normalcy, money was flowing in for everybody. Now that's put on pause. Someone pushed the pause button.
The Rangers just dropped a bill, didn't they?
Before all this lockdown, there was some major players being moved. The Texas Rangers made some major movements, actually, getting like a shortstop, a pitcher, and like an outfielder. The names elude me right now, but they paid like a good couple of mil for
God dang.
essentially, not a super team, but what feels like could be the beginning of a super team, or just trying to get back to relevancy over there in Arlington. So, sticking back to what is the main sticking point in the negotiations between the owners and the players? All comes down to money, to economics. Players
Yeah, of
feel
course.
that the players are feeling with the emergence of analytics within the front office that fewer and fewer second and third tier players are getting paid when they finally become free agents after 6 years of major league service time, which is often when a player turns 30 or very close to it. In general, players would like to be paid more at a younger age because that's when they're in essentially in their prime. The system also favors keeping players in the minor leagues for several weeks extra to slow down their major league service time. And
Oh,
players are
what?
not really fond about that. Additionally, they feel the cycle of teams rebuilding, or as we know it, tanking, is maybe limiting a little bit of payrolls. They would like
Wow. Okay.
some guardrails within the system to prevent those cycles. One good thing for the players, as long as there's no salary cap, the system will always pay for the best of the best, something the league likes to emphasize. Owners haven't even offered a hard cap during negotiations. So, what are some of the more radical changes to the game we could possibly see as a result of this new CBA? Let's start with a possible expanded postseason. The league wants 14 teams to make the playoffs with a
Oh
creative
no.
attempt to incentivize winning. The best team in each league would receive a bye, while other division winners would get to choose their wild card opponent. And that's pretty dramatic. We could also see a pitch clock implemented and eventually further caps on the number of pitchers on a roster. Off the field, the nature of arbitration could change, as well as the age or service time at which a player becomes a free agent. And the amateur draft could be in for a change as well. As for service time manipulation, there could be more of a compromise that fully solves that problem. Move back the date that gives a player a year of service time, and teams will just keep players in the minors a little bit longer. So definitely a lot for both sides to discuss. And I only have just a few months to get that all settled with. I for one know, my brother-in-law, avid Yankees fan. He doesn't believe that any changes need to be done via the postseason. It's pretty much perfect as is. Although I think he believes the wild card games, where it's like a one and done, like what happened to his Yankees this past season. They faced Boston and lost, and it was just a one game series.
Yeah.
Whoever wins moves on. That maybe he suggested, and I agree with him, make that into at least like a best out of three series. Because maybe one night you suck, at least you can get a chance at redemption. In the NBA, it's a best out of seven series. Uh, I mean, technically in pro football, it is a one and done throughout the whole playoffs. But in baseball, we're used to series, not like a one and done. Give them a chance. Maybe they're waiting for the right rotation of pitchers or whatnot to get healthy. But in terms of what the owners were thinking about, it's maybe cut the spring training short. I mean, baseball is already long as it is, with like 162 games a year. I think I want to say now to make the playoffs extended. That's going against tradition a bit. Feels like it's just a money grab. Uh, I mean, yeah, if you're gonna do that, then shorten the season
Yeah, I was gonna
to
say,
compensate.
it does feel like a money grab. I mean, like unfortunately, like we're saying money. There's always gonna be about money, right? We had that lockout with with the NBA and just in sports in general. I think that for baseball, it's changing now. They used to be like was it America's pastime or whatever.
Still is, yeah.
It still is. It's very very strong. It has they have a lot of really strong like just like commitment and just investment in like the teams themselves. You know, I don't know what they would need exactly, right? But I think that the sport just kind of needs to evolve a little bit now more. Just modernize. It has, and it is, and they are getting because they desperately, dude, need new viewers. Like
Yes.
you have your old viewers. That's your old reliable, but you need new viewers. It's the bottom line. And a lot of teams are a lot of younger. Well, first of all, a lot of football and basketball are just way more popular. Um, and soccer isn't very prominent here in the United States, though it's getting bigger. And and all the other sports are kind of like more like I'm talking about maybe like high school, college type of thing or whatever, right? Um, so where baseball is big in college, and baseball is just big in general. There's like minor leagues or like Division 3. Like it's just huge. There's a lot of leagues around the nation.
And
Um,
also, abroad, outside of the U.S.,
Outside of the U.S.,
very popular in like
yeah,
Central America,
and
those countries in the Caribbean.
that's actually my that was gonna be my next point. Like maybe
Point it out.
they maybe should focus on bringing talent over here. Where making it even more competitive. Where I'm sure I don't know how it works with like Cuba and all those countries or whatever, but just like really start focusing. Because that's what NBA did. Like, dude, like the best NBA players right now is what Giannis. He's from where? Greece. He was born in. I think he was born in Nigeria. Was it Nigeria? South Africa? Something
I
like that.
mean,
Whatever.
originally, yes, and his family relocated to Greece,
Yeah.
so he grew up in Greece. Luka
So
Doncic.
Greece. A good.
Oh,
Yes, Luca. The Joker. He got MVP last year.
yeah, Nikola Jokic.
So the NBA is starting to kind of see that. NFL is always gonna could just have like its feeder. College. You know, system. It's just gonna be there for a while. They have a lot of colleges, a lot of talent to choose from. But like the NBA just became is very, or the basketball itself is very obviously a world sport. So I think that if baseball maybe MLB could maybe focus on bringing talent from, not bringing talent but just like other for like, dude, you're pretty good, you're pretty good, like look at the, was it the guy from Japan.
Yeah, this year's sensation Shohei Otani of the Los Angeles Angels,
Who
like
did you grab? Who did you grab? Japan. You know what I mean?
from Japan, yes,
No, no,
full
no.
fledged Japanese player.
But I'm saying like, which audience now did you grab? Japan.
Oh,
You know, now you have the people like, oh, dang, it's like our athlete, in the MLB and stuff like that, like, or these, you see all like the when the World Series, a lot of them were people like internationals, and it's just focus on that so you can capture a new audience rather than like, no, the new kids should watch baseball because it's Americans old you know pastime. It's like, okay, you don't have to force it, it should just come naturally. I don't know, what do you think?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I
It
know I dropped a
should be
lot.
like
I dropped a lot there.
no,
My
no,
bad,
no,
my
no.
bad.
What it boils down to is, we need more viewership of younger audiences who are currently, more fixated on football and basketball. Baseball definitely can use some modernization. Uh, they're doing a good start by, getting good players from abroad, Japan, uh, South and Central America. I know a lot of players, in this current previous World Series, you had guys from like Cuban or Dominican or even Puerto Rican, not heritage, but nationalities. So the game is getting diverse, and that's good. But now we need to find ways to tweak the rules a bit, I think what's turning off is these games last. There's no shot clock or nothing like that. Maybe they're doing the pitching clock to kind of speed the games up. But a baseball game in one sitting, that's like a good 2+ hours sometimes. Exciting as they are, but there's so many games in a season, and some of them are really just you know filler games. Like if you have the Astros, yeah, that's cool. And then they played like one of the worst teams. For instance, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Like, am I gonna watch that, or am I gonna watch like the Spurs played like the Nuggets? What's no brainer? Because the Spurs Nuggets. Uh, so definitely they need to find ways to tweak it. I think they're in the beginning stages of maybe like a new renaissance period for baseball, heading into the 21st century. You did say it's America's pastime, and it is, as old, like way, way, way back, like since like before the Civil War and shit like that.
What would
Uh,
you do? What would you change about it? Like, what would you one thing you would change about it, or add, or take away, or whatever? Just like right now,
mm,
just off the top of your head. I think I would add. Um, I would actually not add. I would. I mean, and I know I'm probably gonna get, you know, a lot of drawback or
that's all right. There's no dumb ideas, just dumb
just
people.
cut innings. Make every inning a lot more, meaningful. Tighten screws a little bit more.
Maybe like instead of 9 innings, you're saying
Do
7 innings.
Yeah,
By all means, I think they do that with a double header, but
yeah. Oh yeah,
maybe do
that's
that every
right.
game.
I was gonna say yeah. Where I mean, but then you're gonna start going, and then they talked about it anyway about the whole doubleheader, where like, oh, those games don't count towards the records and all this stuff, and you know how baseball is about records, so I don't know. I guess they would start messing around with that. So I don't know what I would really do. But what would you do?
No, no, that's a viable option. Short, maybe shorten the season, shorten each game. Uh, I guess tweak the rules a bit for maybe some of these young guys to get, from the minor leagues. Maybe give them a little bit more of a shot. Uh, add a little bit of more youth. These youthful players. It is a shame to see the guys who are like aces in college. Maybe have to sit out a few years in the minors. Uh, so by all means, maybe extend the roster a bit of how many potential pitchers you could have in a game. Uh, so that could be good. Uh, but I digress. I don't know what exactly is in store for this season. We'll just have to monitor any developments over the next few months. But a few things that I was going to add before we move on from our diamond talk was before the whole lockout situation and players were still moving around. There was some notable, signings and contracts. For instance, the San Diego Padres, they got right-hander Nick Martinez, agreed on a 4-year, 20 mil contract, as per some sources. Uh, the Red Sox, they got Hunter Renfro, or they send Hunter Renfro, excuse me, to the Milwaukee Brewers for Jackie Bradley Jr. and 2 prospects. Uh, that was obviously a day or two before this whole Wednesday lockout happened. And like we mentioned earlier, the whole blockbuster trade,
Like, when
well,
is it?
signings.
When is it gonna like, realistically like end and everything? You think?
The way these talks are going a little bit slow, I mean, maybe it could be to like late February or March
Oh
that
damn!
finally things can get settled with. I mean, the holidays are coming up. Ain't nobody gonna want to like
No, ain't no one want to work.
go away from their families. So it's just, did they want to have spring training or not? Because yeah, I mean, there's no communication whatsoever between teams and the players. It's a pretty, I mean, like I said, it was 25 years or so that the last time anything like this might have happened. So it's a little bit of, it's scary to see how things will progress. Uh, but as fans, we We want the players to get their due diligence, get what they deserve. We don't want to be shortchanged as fans, neither. Uh, so it's just ongoing talks, brother. Ongoing talks.
Man, well, hopefully we can get Diamond talk a little bit more into the playing back on the playing field, because they need to start doing some trades. They need to start, especially the Texas teams. I mean, I know like we were talking about earlier before the show, that the Rangers, didn't they just just build a new stadium?
They finished the new stadium. They shelled out a couple of millions on like 3 new additional players.
Like, dang,
Uh,
that's like, dude, God.
so
They're like,
they're
nah,
itching.
nah, bro, you can't use it. What? Why not? Nah. God, just drop money, dude. Yeah, and dude, I don't know. I hope they do get it fixed. I'll be down. That we need to go check out Astros and the Rangers game, both. So you check them out, see all the Texas teams, see what's up. Back when the season does actually start, and we're actually talking about like maybe going to Spurs game pretty soon as well. Do like a little some videos from that. I'll upload some videos from that. But do you want to do what, baseball then? Might as well.
Well, we were just wrapping up our diamond talk. Not really much else to talk about. You say basketball or baseball?
Basketball.
Okay, we'll talk some basketball. It's one of our favorite segments. I don't know what
Yeah.
the hell they nickname basketball, but yeah. If you're not watching this Viking Steelers game, and I don't blame you, it's a little bit one sided at the moment. There's some good basketball action going on this evening. You had the Jazz at the 76ers, you had the Lakers facing the Grizzlies, and you had the Nuggets traveling to play at the Spurs. Uh, some of those games might have already been finished. Let me check. I know for sure the Jazz Sixers, that game ended. Jazz were able to edge the Sixers 118 to 96. Rudy Gobert, like we're saying, he's from abroad. He's French. Dude was a
There you
beast.
go. Yeah, there you go.
17 points, 21 rebounds, 1 assist. And he faced off against, guess what? Another guy who's not from the United States, Joel Embiid.
Yeah.
He had 19 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. But the edge went over to the Jazz. So kudos to the Jazz on another victory. Currently, the Spurs are underway in the third, and the Lakers Grizz is in the fourth. Spurs are hanging on to a decent lead. I'm not gonna lie. Meanwhile, the Grizz are trying to see if they could pull the upset of the Lakers. Well, not technically the upset. They have almost like the same record. The Grizz are 14-11. Lakers are 13-12. The other Grizz, they don't have that John Morant guy. I don't know exactly when the timetable is for his return.
Yeah, he got. Did you see that when he got hurt? Dude, it was pretty bad.
I did not see when he got hurt. I'm sure it was pretty bad.
Yeah, it's because I don't know. I was talking to that coworker. I'm like, dude, I think Jolly Run, and that's cool. It's kind of like how they say, if you're if you look good without a shirt, you don't wear one or whatever. But that doesn't mean you should do it all the time. Like, John Morant is super athletic, dude. Super athletic. Like, God. Like, whoa. Like, unnecessary. But I think he overdoes it when, like, he tries to block. Even just pick, like, do it, do a little pick and roll or something, or even a little layup. I mean, obviously when he dunks it, right? But I think he goes a little too hard at that, where like it kind of caught up to him. I mean, the NBA has a lot of like men, like dudes that are like gonna block you, So I just think that from here he'll learn. He's still what, like second year?
Yeah, very young, barely in his like third year, I want to say.
So it's just
The face of the franchise, though, for the Grizz.
I was gonna say, yeah, the face of franchise, and honestly, the future for the NBA. He's really good. It's just he's like kind of. I think he's a little bit more refined, like kind of like Westbrook. How Westbrook was like super energetic, but I don't feel. I feel like Westbrook never really refined. He just kind of stayed crazy or just energetic. Whereas John Morant can be like, I feel like he can really. He has that energy, but I feel like he can hone it. The the Grizzlies are gonna do good. They're gonna have a good future. They have a bright future. I don't know about them winning, in the West because the West is hard, but they can make the playoffs. I can see them make the playoffs consistently. So, yeah, I mean,
Definitely an opponent not to be underestimated. I mean, they're not the Grizz of old, with the Zach Randolph and the
I was
Marcus
gonna say, yeah.
All, but they're coming up there. They got some young scrappers. Uh, another potential dark horse out there in the very difficult Western Conference. But speaking of Western Conference, or Spurs are facing the Nuggets. Uh, I'll monitor the score. I'll let you know what the final is. But uh, the Nuggets are currently eighth in the Western Conference with a 12-12 record. Spurs, they're 12th in the Western Conference, so not that far behind. This is a good measuring matchup, if you will. Uh, the Nikola Jokic, he leads Denver during this matchup because there's a little bit of injuries on the Nuggets side. I think they're out. Who was Michael Porter Jr. out probably for the whole season because of his back. Austin Rivers, he's out because of health and safety protocols, and Jamal Murray, the other main guy in that lineup, he's currently out with his knee. So it's definitely a very good-looking matchup for the Spurs to try to get that W when the shorthanded Spurs the shorthanded Nuggets are coming to town. Jokic, he leads them. Jokic is fifth in the league in scoring with 26.3 points per game. The Spurs are 3-11 against Western Conference opponents. Spurs are currently limiting opponents' scoring, giving up only about 108.3 points, while holding up their opponents' shooting to just 45.8%, shooting ball in the arc. Nuggets are 7-6 in Western Conference play. Denver is third in the NBA, just allowing. Okay, forget the stats. This is the second time they've met this season. In the last matchup back in October the 23rd, the Nuggets did win 102-96. They led 32 points from Jokic, while Keldon Johnson at the time scored 27 for the Spurs. Devin Vassell, he averages about 1.8 made three-pointers per game for the Spurs, scoring about 11.6 points while shooting 38.8 from beyond the arc.
Damn,
Your
that's
boy,
pretty good. That boy can shoot.
and he's not alone. DeJounte Murray is shooting 45.5 and averaging 19.4 points over the last 10 games for SA.
Bro, DeJounte Murray is doing so good. I'm gonna get his regular black and white Spurs and the City edition, both of them.
Now, black and white, you're saying is it all black with the white trim or all white with the black trim?
What's the curse?
I don't know. What is the curse?
What are we losing? 2013? We lost in the white.
Fine, go black.
I think we lost in the white.
Now this game we're currently at, we're not without our own injuries. I think Keldon Johnson, he's day-to-day with an ankle injury. Devin Vassell, he's also day-to-day with his quad. Zach Collins, he's out because of his ankle. So still, it's hard to find the game where we're currently at full strength. And right now I'm just trying to get an update on that score because I think we're almost towards the end of the third. There's just less than 1 minute left in the third. Spurs got a nice sizable lead. It's about 10 plus points. I'm not gonna lie. I think we got a final score that just happened a few moments ago on that Lakers Grizz game. I'll give it a few more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I gotta give the internet some time and then I gotta say it. But I think the Grizz won 108-95 against the Lakers. LeBron, I think he led all his top performers with the Lakers, 20 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists. A typical triple-double for the King. But he was dethroned today. Likes of Desmond Bain, a guy you don't hear
Ooh.
normally from the Grizz. Desmond Bain. Uh, 23 points from the shooting guard, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. But that was enough. Um, a lot of criticism going towards, does there need to be a coaching change in La La Land for the Lakers? I mean,
Ooh.
technically, everybody knows LeBron is the coach. What is Frank Vogel doing but just like getting paychecks and doing press
They
conferences?
say that they're gonna fire him, dude.
There's rumors. There's rumors. I think LeBron is trying to, extinguish those heated talks
I heard he's
by
trying
deflecting.
to get. I heard he's trying to get Ty Lue again.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I don't know how that
Where-
works though. Where's he at?
Ty Lue, I couldn't tell you if I wanted.
Let's check that out. American basketball coach.
America. Ty Lue.
Oh, he's from Missouri. Oh, dang. I think he's just
He's nobody.
Oh yeah, he's a coach, the head coach for the Clippers.
Oh yeah. That's
Remember
right.
he took over. It's the Doc when Doc left.
Right. He just went across the road, huh? To the Clippers.
I mean, honestly, it's because I feel so bad for the Clippers. I don't know, with Kawhi.
Well, funny you should mention. That's a good segue into my next point of emphasis with the NBA is the LA Clippers star swingman Paul George was ruled out of this previous Wednesday's night win, against the Boston Celtics. They won 114 to 111, but Paul George did suffer a right elbow contusion.
Oh, dang.
He was originally listed as questionable, and then he went through pregame warmups before, and then he was ruled out. Other injuries: veteran forward Nicholas Batum, remember that guy?
Oh,
He
dang.
returned just recently after missing 9 straight games,
You're
and
right,
he was
yeah.
replaced by George in the starting lineup. Batum, he was in health and safety protocols before ramping back up with his conditioning to play again. He was scoreless while playing 15 minutes in the win against Boston before leaving with a right ankle injury. Kawhi, he's currently still out indefinitely with that whole knee.
No, dang.
In the meantime, Paul George, he's led the Clippers with 25 points, 7.3 rebounds, and 5.4 assists per game during the season. He had 21 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, and 39 minutes during a 102-90 win over the Blazers this previous Monday. So Paul, he's finally, got his confidence back. We hadn't seen that since he left the Pacers so many years prior. So with Kawhi out, Paul George has definitely stepped up as one of the de facto leaders of the team. Injuries withstanding,
Yeah.
they could definitely be
Contenders, dude. Honestly.
definitely. If they're at full strength and when they get Kawhi back, they could shock some people.
I mean, right now, the way I see it, I mean, obviously, because people, they're talking about how Stephen A. From ESPN, they're talking about how the right now, as of the Lakers are not winning another championship, straight up. Right now in the West, I mean, you have Warriors, Suns, Jazz, dude, they're at 21, 20, and 18. God dang. It's pulled away from the pack. And then you have Grizz, Clippers, Lakers are still 13, Mavs, Nuggets, technically Timberwolves and Kings, because 9 and 10 still make it now. So you have Trailblazers, Spurs, Rockets, Thunder, Pelicans. I think it's essentially gonna end up I think the season is gonna end that way, where it's just the bottom 4. It's gonna be Pelicans, Thunder, Rockets, and Spurs. Hopefully not the Trailblazers in there, so we can get a good pick. Unfortunately, right? And then on the Eastern Conference, dude. Ooh. Ooh, okay. You have Nets. Guess who's number 2? Just tirándole. Just throw me a name.
The Bulls.
Oh, yes. Damn. Okay. 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 Give me 3. Give me number 3.
Celtics.
No, the Bucks.
Oh, stupid. The Bucks and then the Celtics.
No, you have the Heat. Number 4.
Oh,
The
the
Wizards.
Wizards. Wizards are up
Wizards are
there.
5. And
Don't forget about them.
bro, number 6, Cavaliers. Da bueno, Jared Allen.
Yeah, Cavs finally coming back.
14-12. They're above 500. Yeah. Yeah. Congratulations. 76ers. Oh, damn. Are number 7. 8 are Hawks. 9, Hornets. 10, Celtics.
Damn, Celtics kind of.
They're 500, dude. They're 13-13.
They need a little bit of some change going on to get them back within the top 5.
And then you have the Knicks, Raptors, Pacers, Magic, and Pistons. Dude, Pistons have only won 4 games.
I mean, they're a young team. They barely are getting acclimated for their new guy, Cade Cunningham, to be the new star.
I have a 10 game losing streak.
Yeah, I was thinking bounce back because it's how you end the season, Danny. How you end the season.
They're 4-20. God dang. I mean, either way, I think the Warriors are essentially. I think Warriors Suns just seems to me like the contenders right now. It's like at least for the West, I don't see the East being this. I mean, as strong as it was last year. Honestly. Well, you know what? No, I mean, because maybe it's just new, and honestly, it's the beginning of the season. You know how it is. Everyone's healthy. All the young kids and stuff like that. They're like super excited. And then towards our last like 2-3 weeks of the season, which is like for real basketball. And be like, oh, that's when the standings really start like really shifting. We can really start seeing a picture. Right now though, the Bulls are gonna scare people, dude. Honestly, the Bulls are gonna scare people. I don't think they can win. I don't think the Nets can win. I think the Bucks on the East. I think the Bucks just have the better chance to win the whole thing. The 76ers are just really bad. Compared to how they were last year. I just don't really trust them. The Heat are gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think the Wizards are gonna do damage. I don't think the Cavs are gonna do damage. I think the Hawks might scare 1 or 2, maybe 2 series. I don't think they'll do they'll go to the finals again, or at least the Eastern Conference Finals. But I think the Bulls might. I think the Bulls might make the Eastern Conference Finals.
Well, funny you should mention the Bulls. There are, like you said, like number 2 in the East currently, as the standings are. Though they got a bit of a storm that they need to weather, and that's in the form of some absences from notable players for various reasons. Just recently, their forward, Derek Jones Jr., he went into the health and safety protocol list on Thursday, making him the 5th Bulls player sidelined during what has now become a team-wide COVID-19 outbreak. Derek Jones, he joins DeMar DeRozan, Matt Thomas, Kobe White, and Devontae Green, all entering the league's protocol in that 9-day span. White and Green are the only 2 positives confirmed for the team, and the players, they must remain in isolation for 10 days or until they return with 2 negative tests within a 24-hour span. In addition to the 5 players sidelined with the outbreak, they're also missing their forward Patrick Williams, who's out with a wrist, and guard Alex Caruso, the legend himself, sadly with a hamstring injury, which made the team eligible to sign a 16th player through the NBA's hardship exception. I don't know who they signed. I think for the G League or whatever, D League. They had to sign people. They're missing bodies left and right. They're gonna start having like tryouts, like a colleges or something, or like not colleges, but like in the parks, the basketball parks or whatever. They gotta get some men. Uh, if they want to hang on to that nice top spot in the East, they gotta weather the storm, or at least until Caruso can single-handedly bring them back to prominence. So yes, I do believe there's a lot of potential in the Bulls coming back to prominence. Hadn't happened since the Jordan years of the '90s, and now there's some good winning going on over there in Chicago because the Chicago Bears suck balls, and the Bulls. I mean, they're back on top now. But hopefully, it's not like a one and done like the Knicks, for instance. They were looking pretty decent last season, and we're the Knicks currently right now.
Dude, there is bad. I think that more than anything for the Knicks, it was just like kind of very Cinderella. But I was just kind of discovering. It was just Julius Randle kind of discovering himself. He just needs a push. I think that it's still early in the season. You know, we've got down like what, a third maybe the season already.
Maybe almost a quarter.
Quarter. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, we're still doing 80. I guess we're doing still 82 games. Um, I think that it's just gonna be just like interesting how, like I said, how we start shaping teams now. Like you said, there's people signing left and right. I mean, you have people going down and people coming up. You know, they're just signing 1, 2, 3-way contracts or whatever. You have Joshua Primo, from the Spurs. He did pretty good with Austin Spurs. He had like 4 blocks and 3 steals or something like that. I mean, I broke a couple of Spurs records. So just bright lights kind of going everywhere. And honestly, the NBA couldn't be at a better place, honestly, in terms for talent. I just think that, I feel like the NBA is kind of still clinging on. The NBA, specifically, the league, is clinging on to like the old school people because it's the ones that they know are making the money. You know how like LeBron comes on ESPN every single day, like one way or another. Just like stuff like that where it's just like. But I think that now with Luka coming up, even what's his Giannis, just like the new generation coming up. I think the NBA should focus more on that. But unfortunately, right now, it's always going to be one of those things.
Well, that's good. That kind of helps me segue into one of the final things I had to talk about the basketball wise. You're talking about teams and players going up or moving up or blowing up. Well, Luka Doncic is definitely blowing up. And I don't mean that lightly. So the Maverick superstar Luka Doncic acknowledged that his physical conditioning has, quote, got to get better, end quote. Doncic's weight and conditioning were a frequent subject on the TNT broadcast of the Mavs 102-99 loss to the Brooklyn Nets that happened this previous Tuesday night. Reggie Miller, Hall of Famer, shooting guard. He criticized Doncic, saying that he was, quote, plodding up and down the court and has got to trim down, end quote. People are going to talk about it, yes or no, said Doncic, who had 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 9 assists during the loss. He said, I know I've got to do better. Now I'm playing. I won't do his accent. So as per sources, Doncic, he reported to training camp weighing more than 260 pounds for the second consecutive year. His listed weight is 230. I'm sure that was back when he was playing European ball. A two-time first-team All-NBA selection, Doncic, who's 22. He's averaging 25.5 points, 7.9 rebounds, 8.5 assists for the 11-2 Mavs. While those are impressive statistics, they're slightly down from his numbers from his previous 2 seasons, as Doncic's 44.4 shooting from the field. His efforts to improve his conditioning have recently been interrupted, by a sprained left knee and ankle, injuries he sustained simultaneously that caused him to miss 3 games at the beginning of the Mavs' current 2-8 stretch. He did sit out Saturday's loss against Memphis because of lingering soreness in his left ankle. And the Mavs also listed a sprained left thumb on Tuesday's injury report. The Mavs are 0-4 in games in which Doncic has missed the games. So definitely the cornerstone or keystone of that roster over there in Dallas, a guy they desperately need throughout the entire season and postseason if they want to even make a shot at the title run. It's all he's the piece. He's the most important piece of your team, and you know, I guess you can't blame him. Injuries withstanding, he did the Olympics this past summer. Uh, he's living in Texas. There's a lot of great food. I'm sure so, he's an overindulged maybe a little bit too much at some of our fine Texas cuisine. Uh, so he better fix up, or his new nickname is going to be the Big D. Don for Doncic, not for Dallas.
Yeah, of course. Oh man, I mean, it's just, he's saying like, he did, do the Olympics and stuff like that, and it's just, he at 17 he was playing professional or whatever. It's just one of those where he's just like kind of started young and he really had a, not that saying that like he doesn't have a childhood or anything like that, or he didn't really enjoy it. I'm sure like it is what it is, right? But more than anything, it's just he's still young, dude. You know, and yeah, your metabolism is better than most people and stuff like that, but you still need to, you gotta still, keep some discipline or whatever. You can't just, you can't just show up to work, without needing a shave and hair all messed up and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like you don't really, you can't go to work like that because why? Like you shouldn't go to work like that. So it's another, like for a football player, basketball player, for an athlete, whatever. Normally, your uniform is what? You being fit, or you being in shape or whatever. So,
Your body is your moneymaker, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's
your
tool.
career goes as long as you take care of yourself.
Yeah, it's your hammer, it's your nails, it's your keyboard, it's your whatever, So I understand, like I said, he's young and stuff like that, but still kind of like, come on, dude, we just gave you a whole bunch of money.
You're our only hope.
Like we gave you a lot of money, like a lot of money. Just go to the gym, dude. Just the ball around, Just the ball around after the game, a little bit more.
Just get on that Peloton for a little bit longer, all right?
Yeah.
Do an incline.
Oh, dude, what is it? What's that? Which is that one? The one that's with the wall that you just grab it and stuff like that. And it's like a mirror.
I know which one you're talking about because LeBron did that commercial for that and shit.
Really?
I don't know what it is.
I don't want it anymore.
It looks interesting though, but
yeah, I mean, it's like essentially like our friend Juan, like our friend Juan. It's like essentially it's like what he has at his house, but just like digital. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about, guys.
That's okay.
Round of applause. Yeah.
Woo! Equipment. Woo! Creepy mirror equipment.
Seriously.
But that's kind of wrapping up my basketball segment. And later on, I'll interrupt the show and give you a final on that Spurs Nuggets game. It's already the last 5 of the fourth quarter. Spurs still hanging on to that lead.
Yeah.
So I'll keep you posted on that later on. So what do you want to? We got basketball out of the way.
All right.
What are we going to move into next?
Let's just do football.
Nice. Before we go into pro football, just a quick acknowledgement for in the college realm. There's the Heisman Award ceremony that's going to take place this upcoming Saturday evening. We'll announce on Tuesday. We'll announce who the winners are. It's basically the front runner is that guy Bryce Young, the Alabama QB of Alabama. I don't know who else is like the second front runner. But no, we'll see what's up on Tuesday about that. And for those of you who are interested, it's a classic. is the 122nd edition of the Army Navy game. Going to be hosted at
Ooh.
MetLife Stadium. That's over there where the Giants play, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
That's going to be Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. Central Time on CBS. The Army Black Knights, they're 8-3 in the season. That's not bad. Versus the Navy Midshipmen, who are they're the inverse. They're 3-8. But it's a rivalry game. Anything can happen. Very strong tradition. There's going to be a lot of cadets and service members at that game. So definitely, if that's something you want to watch football-wise on the Saturday afternoon, I mean, that seems like a pretty interesting matchup to begin with. So kudos to tradition. 122nd meeting. So what's up, Air Force? What's up, Marines? Where's Space Force at?
No lie.
Now, Air Force does have their own football team. I think it's just the Marines. They don't, but I mean, for obvious reasons, they have better things to do than play football.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like. Besides,
But,
it's like one of those like old long-standing like institution and stuff like that. Yeah.
That's all good. So moving out of college, we're officially in week 14 of the NFL pro football. We currently started out with a game currently going on right now. Steelers Vikings, very one-sided. I'll say what the ending score of that is later on in the evening. And then
very one-sided.
It pretty much is. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, the Vikings don't have Adam Thielen, but they're not missing a beat in the run game or the passing. But we have some very important matchups on Sunday. Some of them, rivals. Some of them for playoff implications going on. Beginning with Ravens at the Browns. You had the Jaguars at the Titans, Raiders at the Chiefs, Saints Jets, Cowboys Washington, which I'll speak about shortly, Falcons at the Panthers, Seahawks at the Texans, Lions trying to get that second win of the season at the Broncos, Giants at the Chargers, 49ers at the Bengals. We don't know what kind of Bengals team is going to show up today.
Yeah.
A very interesting one, the Bills at the Bucks. That could have some big implications later on. I know the Bills are trying to fight back into this thing. And the Bears at the Packers as the Sunday evening nightcap. And then a pretty dandy one on Monday is the Rams at the Cardinals.
Nice.
Pretty much the hottest two teams out there in the West.
Dude,
Wow.
I don't know how the Cardinals are winning. Like, about how Kyler Murray is like, dude, like, you have Kyler Murray, 5'10", running around, throwing TDs, and then
Not even. They had Colt McCoy for like 2 of those games.
Yeah, true that. But then you have like Josh Allen, 6'6", throwing the ball around. So it's like literally like quarterbacks right now come in all shapes and sizes. It's crazy.
For real, bro. Before I get into my Cowboys talk, just to give y'all a better picture as to division leaders and how the wild card race is shaping up out there in the AFC. AFC East, you got New England Patriots. They're leading 9-4 record. In the North, Baltimore Ravens, 8-4.
Dang.
Tennessee Titans, without Derrick Henry, they're 8-4, leading in the AFC South. Some teams on the outside, Kansas City Chiefs rather, they're leading in the AFC West 8-4 as well. And so some of the teams vying for some wild card positioning. You got the Chargers, Bengals, and the Bills. All 3 of them are 7-5.
Damn.
So it's like a 3-way tie in that one. Shifting gears to the NFC, you got our own Dallas Cowboys leading in the East, 8-4 record. Green Bay Packers leading in the North, 9-3 on their end. Brady and the Bucks, they're 9-3 as well at the South. And Arizona Cardinals, as we mentioned, I think the best record in the league total.
NFL, yeah. I think that they got
10-2.
first. Yeah.
They're the first team. Yeah, you're right. First team to get double-digit wins, 10-2. On the outside, the Rams are 8-4, while Washington, 49ers, and the Eagles all have 6 wins apiece. So that's also coming into like a very tight race. Like could be a 3 or 4 game tie to try to get those 2 spots to the wild card. So going into America's team, or at least the team we love here the most here on Mezzo Forte Sports, is them Cowboys. Oh, where's my 10-gallon hat? I need a crack open beer. Crack open that damn beer for this Cowboys talk. Yo! I know we're not after dark, but I'm sipping the beer already. Screw you. At 10 o'clock, I'll tell you what it is. So, Cowboys. McCarthy's Dallas Cowboys have a shot at the top seed of the NFC East with 4 of 5 games left against Eastern Division opponents. Washington, rather, has won 4 in a row to move into the thick of the playoff race, which is exactly what Coach Ron Rivera wanted from his team with 5 NFC East matchups left. The round robin for the NFC East title begins with Dallas and Washington on Sunday. That's around noon time, so you got to wake up a little early, start the barbecue pit, get the ice just primed a little bit earlier than normal. Okay, or get some breakfast tacos or that brunch going on. Cowboys are 8-4, enter into first place with Washington 6-6, and the idle Philadelphia Eagles are still in that hunt. Cowboys have been good without running back Zeke Elliott not being fully healthy. Elliott has been held under 50 yards rushing in 4 consecutive games for the first time in his career. And Dallas is 2-2 during his stretch, including an overtime loss against Las Vegas back in Thanksgiving, Thursday. On the other end, Washington followed a 4-game skid with a 4-game winning streak, riding a strong running game and improving defense into a wild card spot. It'll be the first time since 1995 Tampa Buccaneers that a team finishes the regular season with 5 consecutive division games. The starting defensive line the Cowboys expected to have open the season should actually play together for the first time against Washington. That means defensive tackle Neville Gallimore, who dislocated his left elbow in a preseason game, is set for his season debut. The other end, Randy Gregory, returns after missing 4 games with a calf strain. And Lawrence returned last week after being out since breaking a foot in practice the week after the opener.
God dang.
So we're going to have our big men out there in the front.
The trenches are going to be, pretty bloody tonight, or that game. That's good because as weird as it sounds, but the Cowboys secondary can be hockey, like pick the ball and stuff like that, if you can disturb the quarterback a little bit, and throw a couple of slams in there, try to see if they can get in. Micah, dude, Parsons is what's up. It's like their defense should get a little bit better to see how they all kind of work out together.
Well, guess what the defense is going to be up against? Washington's success running the ball, controlling the clock, and giving their own defense a breather is thanks in large part to their second-year back Antonio Gibson. He's already had he's already been steady and dependable since Coach Rivera benched him for fumbling against Carolina 3 weeks ago. And now Gibson, he's rushed for 52 times for 199 yards in the past 2 games. Our own running back, Elliott, he said an MRI showed his ailing right knee is improving. He also said that the rest of the mini break helped, and he expects the knee to maybe be close to being healed in about a month's time, which he hopes to be right in line for the playoffs. Now, the 2-time rushing champion said he can't make the injury any worse by playing. He also said he won't need surgery after the season, which is promising. But there's a little bit of intrigue as our other running back, Dallas's Tony Pollard. He actually injured his foot on a 58-yard touchdown run last week when they had a 27-17 victory over New Orleans. So Pollard, he's a game-time decision, man.
Dang, and that's crazy. That sucks.
This is a pivotal win. So we got all the beef in our O-line, but now we're like missing our backup running back, and the main running back is still not 100. So it's gonna be scary, man.
Go get
So
it. Go get Adrian Peterson.
if he wasn't already signed, I'd say sign his ass.
Dude, I feel like
Uh,
Adrian Peterson's just bouncing around the team, trying to like be like, hey, y'all got any some of those practice spots?
got any more than Adrian Peterson's?
Dude, dude, I didn't realize he was number 3 all time, like in yards.
Well, it helps that his career hasn't ended. He's just eking out this junk time.
Yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, Cowboys should try to go get someone. Go get Beast Mode. Imagine.
I don't know, man. Maybe his conditioning hasn't been good.
Yeah,
He's doing too many commercials.
no, they should. I don't know.
You know them Skittles.
Get Le'Veon Bell. Get him again. He's like practice squad and he got cut and stuff like that. Man, running backs, pobrecitos, but you know you really don't have a long shelf life, do you?
It's a very tough position. Always susceptible to injuries. Don't mean to interject, but we have a final on that Spurs McNuggets game.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
It looks like the Spurs were able to pull out the W in front of their home crowd, edging the Nuggets. Thank you for that. 123 to 111 final score. Some of the Spurs leading scores out of the starting lineup. You had DeJounte Murray with 20 points. You had Derek White. He had about 23 points of his own. McDermott, the dude's pretty steady starter. He had 17 points of his own. And the solid guy off the bench, Lonnie Walker the fourth. What's up? He had 21. Definitely boost off the bench. What's up with the McNuggets? Let's see. I think Aaron Gordon had 25 points. And the Joker, he had 22. And the other main guy was it Barton? Will Barton. So yeah, they were downsized. They didn't have Murray. They didn't have Porter Jr. But fuck them. We win. A win is a win, and it's a Spurs win. So awesome. Kudos to the Spurs. After losing back-to-back games to the Suns in the damn Knicks. Quality win at home. Good shit. Who are they gonna play afterwards? Let me check. Don't go away. They're gonna play next up. Damn it! I think I had it written down somewhere.
Hold on. Should I be able to pull it up?
New Orleans. No, wait. Another date with Denver. A rematch on
tomorrow or on Sunday.
Saturday evening.
Here again. Let's go.
Wow. I got a thing to do, man. The thing, man.
See, the way my bank account works.
The way my bank account works is.
I got my money in my savings, and you know.
All right, good shit, Spurs.
God.
Looking forward to y'all beating the Joker again on Saturday. But going back to the Cowboys, I mean, what do you think, man? Is this a must-win? They're barely hanging on to that spot in the East. In Washington, they haven't been losing. They've been shutting people down with that run game, making like Russell Wilson just look disheveled on the sideline, like for minutes and minutes of game clock, just being chewed out by that run game.
I don't know. I feel like that it's because the Cowboys, and I think they burned out a little too fast. I think that they should just stay with the formula. You know, they run the ball. You know, they run the ball really good. Just like you said, you know, they haven't, or they have a couple of injuries.
Like, I don't know who's our third running back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, because it's
I need to call him up.
Like, you know, you literally need to start, you know, just kind of figuring out like I said, the strong qualities of the team. Are we gonna start throwing the ball more? Are we gonna get Dak involved more? Once we start getting Dak involved more, then we're obviously not going to be able to play action a lot more because we're not really going to commit to the run. They weren't even committing to the run anyway, even though they were doing really good at it. It's just I feel like McCarthy might actually. I mean, obviously he'll stay there a year and they make the playoffs. They should make the playoffs. But I don't think he's gonna be a good coach. I think they should look elsewhere. You know,
Damn,
yeah,
already
yeah. I
just
think
get
that
rid of the guy
it's
after two
because
seasons.
the thing is, dude, you need to be aggressive, and like I feel like he's just not. I feel like he's just very passive, just kind of chilling, like and that's fine, but not for the Cowboys. I mean, dude, like they've been passive for the past, couple decades or whatever. You know, the uh, uh, the fans just like are like because there's just so much talent, dude. Dak is doing really good. CeeDee Lamb, you have the offense is really really good. There's just way so much talent that I feel like they like play calling was so bad that they either I mean fine just keep McCarthy or whatever, but just give play calling duties to someone else because this is like dumb. Like they keep messing up clock management, like stuff like that. Where it's just like, dude, what are you doing? Like I play. There's kids that play Madden better than you do. In terms of timeouts and stuff like that. But I think I think more than anything, the Cowboys it's just consistency. You need to have a culture. Maybe this year, maybe you can't just be every year we're gonna go to the Super Bowl. No, get do and be realistic about your goals. Let's go ahead and win the division. Let's go ahead and try to win the conference, and then obviously we'll go to the Super Bowl, or whatever, right? But just
Yeah.
like trying to focus on where those small steps and to be like, oh no, bro, Super Bowl bound this year after the first game. Like, come on, like you can't do that. You just can't. But it's mostly the fans. I'm not gonna lie. But fans are always gonna be fans. They're always gonna want their team to, do good. But I think that just to be realistic as a team, right now they have a lot of talents. They need a little bit more beefing up in like the safety position, especially like in defense. And they just need a coach that's gonna be dynamic with that dynamic offense because that offense is dynamic, but I feel like they just don't use it enough. Where like they could not to be like that, obviously, right? But very like Kansas City Chiefs like where they're just throwing the ball all over. Like, dude, you have CeeDee Lamb, you have Amari Cooper, dude. Even Gallup is doing damn good. So it's just one of those things where I feel like the Cowboys they have a lot of talent. They just need a couple, maybe more pieces where like they can truly make a run. Because all they need to do is make a run. Truly, they honestly need to make a run at the NFC teams. AFC obviously they'll see them in the playoffs or in the Super Bowl or whatever, right? But if they can really like because the Rams are like kind of like up and down, up and down, up and down. The Packers are a little bit more consistent, and they do have Rodgers, so that's that. But then you have, in this case, the NFC. Who else is on the NFC on this side? My bad.
The Packers. And talk about the NFC East.
Yeah, I'm talking about NFC. Oh, I'm sorry, the Cardinals. The Cardinals. I'm talking about the Cardinals where, where the Cardinals, the Rams, the Packers, where like it's teams that are like, you're gonna obviously the Bucks, right? But it's just teams that like those are the teams you're actually gonna be measuring up to, where you can beat your Washington teams, you can beat your divisional, you can beat your random Bears, Falcon Saints, whatever team, right? But really use those games, especially the one coming up with the Cardinals, as a huge measuring stick for yourself, for the team. Be like, all right, dude, like this is a team who would actually face in the playoffs. and they might not get the first seed. They still have a chance, obviously, right? But just like kind of those, I want to use those games more than anything to measure the Cowboys, which they should be measuring themselves up to. Instead of trying to be like, yeah, we beat the Bears, the Vikings, we beat the Panthers and the Saints. Like, okay, dude, no one cares. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, then you go to the playoffs and they just run you over. So, like, like you said, it's just one game. Like, you don't have a series. Oh, no, we kind of figuring them out. No, you need to figure them out in like a quarter or two. So, but yeah, that's just kind of my take on the Cowboys. I think they're gonna do good this year. I don't, like I said, like I was saying earlier, I think they're good enough to to go to the Super Bowl. I don't think they're good enough to win it. But
Oh, ooh,
yeah,
nice.
yeah. So
No,
that's on
no,
you.
no, no, no. Well said, man. Um, I really don't think McCarthy's job is on the line per se. I mean, they're doing pretty good. Like since how many years we've been a little bit mediocre status, barely even making it to the playoffs. If they were able to hold Jason Garrett for like a good part of a decade, and we were shitty like all those years, why would you get rid of McCarthy so quickly, seeing how much success we're currently experiencing right now? So no, I don't believe his job's on the line. We'll we're already on slate to make the playoffs. Uh, uh, I mean, on a side note, sadly, Houston is already eliminated from playoff contention already. It happened. Deal with it. Good luck to those guys next year. Um, but no, sticking to the NFC East or the NFC rather, excuse me, if you don't mind me shifting away from Cowboys talk.
Yeah, go for it.
Um, some other, I mean, the other teams that are having success over there in the NFC is, our buddy Juan's favorite team, the Packers. Currently, they're going through a little bit of issue with one of their star wide receivers, Randall Cobb. Apparently, he had the core muscle surgery last week. And I mean, who knew? The injury that Cobb suffered in Green Bay's last game before their bye, it turned out to be a core muscle injury that required a little bit of some surgery. And now the team believes he'll maybe miss several games, putting the rest of his own season in jeopardy. Cobb, he had surgery last week, and and the hope is that he can return in time for the playoffs. Everyone knows Green Bay should be able to make it easily. Uh, the veteran wide receiver, he returned to the Packers this season at the request of Aaron Rodgers. Um, Left the November 28 game against the Rams at halftime. Uh, Now, Cobb, he's ranked third on the team with 28 catches and second in receiving yards with 375, and is tied for the touchdown lead, matching Devontae Adams' five. 12 of Cobb's catches have come on third down, and 10 have been for the first down. So, I mean, he's not a major weapon, but he's like a good go-to guy in case of emergencies, like how like Patrick Mahomes, he'll throw to Travis Kelsey. As to what are some good like combinations? As the what's his name? The Bills. He throws to Cole Beasley all the time. So there's always that one sidekick receiver that's always going to be open. He's always your main guy. And for a while, it was Cobb. He was always the guy that Aaron Rodgers would, if all hell broke loose and you had to audible, I'm gonna look in his direction because I know, like, I've known him for so many years. He's just my go-to guy. And now they're not gonna have that go-to guy, so they got to like rely on not just Adams. They got to rely on the other dude Lazard and some other dude I don't even know. Could care less. It's the Packers. As just some notable news, not the kind of thing you want to see going into the second later half of the season, making that playoff push. Uh, so other than that, the only thing I had to say was about Tennessee Titans. But for time constraints, I don't give a shit. It's actually 10 o'clock. You know what that means? We're officially Mezzo Forte Sportz After Dark. What does that mean after dark? Well, that means the kids are going to sleep. So now we're unrated, unregulated, uncensored, unsolicited, unmarketed, and we're just sipping on straight up grain alcohol. I love it. Now, we're sipping some spirits here. Do a quick round table. Cheers to y'all at home. If you stayed up late to watch us in our football segments and beyond, cheers to you guys and
Cheers,
girls.
cheers.
Thank you for your support. Just a quick round table. Who's drinking what? I picked up the other day from the Carbuck Brewing Company. Very reputable one. I love their Crawford Bock when it was our Astros postseason. I was sipping on Crawford Bocks. Now that it's Christmas, I was trying to find the Shine of Cheer here in Laredo. I don't know. They always sell out quickly, or maybe it's just that the HEB I went to that one time. But I got a good consolation beer, Carbach, the brewing company. They have a. If y'all have seen the movie, and I'm sure you all know it's a tradition on certain networks, A Christmas Story. The one with the little kid, he wants a Red Ryder BB gun, and like everyone's like, "You're gonna shoot your eye out," and his dad gets like a big lamp in shape of a lady's leg, and he fucking thinks it's the best gift he's ever had. Anyway, that some of y'all might know it. So Carbuck has called "You'll Shoot Your Eye Out" seasonal beer. I can see it here. They're not sponsors. We just like the looking like the beer. It's nice. It's like an amber, I guess. Didn't really say on the box what kind of beer it is. I want to say it's like an amber. But yeah,
Nice.
it's fun. Shoot your eye out. Anything going on your end?
It's got my Manzanita Sol that hopefully we get sponsored soon. You guys know what's
Nice.
up.
Manzanitas
Yes, love
Hole!
You know that you love me with my Manzanita Sol all day. Boom. Got him. But yeah,
Nice.
just go into our last segments. What do you think?
Gotta
Art?
ride the apple, Danny. Gotta ride the apple. So moving on from pro football, we covered most of our major sports. Hockey. I was gonna say hockey. I'll continue that a little bit more in future episodes. We've been, having a lot of big news, mainly football, pro, and college related. That's kind of helped put hockey in the back burner. But I assure you, we are going to push it more to the forefront. Talk about some more Dallas Stars action. I know they recently just had a couple of game win streak that came to an end when they faced Las Vegas Golden Knights yesterday. So I ain't going to talk about that. But we are going to do some more What the Puck is our hockey segments. We'll do those more later on. But one game that we could just not ignore is a big one this upcoming Saturday in the world of Major League Soccer here in the U.S. That is the 2021 MLS Cup. That's going to be hosted this Saturday afternoon, 2 p.m. Central Time. You could catch that on the network ABC. Who's going to be in it? Well, now that we're down to the final two teams, it is the Portland Timbers versus the New York City FC for the whole kit and caboodle.
Nice.
Now, one of the storylines heading into this game is one of the players off the Timbers, Sebastian Blanco. He says he's maybe ready to participate in this MLS Cup contest versus New York after what he claims maybe as a miracle victory. So after being an unused substitute for the Timbers during their Western Conference final win when they played over Real Salt Lake, that was about 5 days ago, following a reported hamstring injury he suffered in the conference semifinal win over the Rapids, Colorado Rapids. That was back in Thanksgiving Day. That possibly maybe threatened to keep him out of the remainder of the season or the playoffs. But now Blanco, he says he's ready to take part in Saturday's big matchup. It's the final. You got to, all the cards are on the line. Like, you're just all in. You got to figure out, if you could even, be a backup. That's at least something. So dating back to August of 29, Blanco, he's appeared in 15 of Portland's 17 contests. Of those 15 games that he was in, the Timbers won 12 of them, with the 33-year-old attacker registering 8 goals, 5 assists in that span. His importance to Giovanni Sarasi's side cannot be understated, so it will come as a great relief to the Rose City that its number 10 took part in full training earlier this afternoon, I believe. I don't have much news on the New York end of it. So definitely, I know some of our viewers out there where I think our boy from Nashville, he was rooting for them at New York. I really couldn't care less because none of those teams are the Houston Dynamo or Austin FC or Dallas FC. Uh, but no, definitely if you're not watching the Army Navy game Saturday afternoon, this is also another good one that you can watch. Uh, I don't know which field or pitch rather they're going to be playing at. I'm more than certain it's a neutral site. Uh, let's see. Anything you want to add to this, Danny? I'm drawing a blank.
No,
Nah, I'm playing.
no, I mean, like you say, the MLS is growing, and I'm glad they're really kind of going towards the, like European League, like style, where they have like tournaments within the tournaments and within the year and stuff like that. Um, I feel like it's just the only thing that's I feel like it's missing. I don't know if we'll ever do that. I don't know if the U.S. can handle something like that. Would be like a relegation system. Um, that would like explode, dude. That would boost the talent to new heights for the United States. Just for in terms of of talent talent development. And but I don't think it's gonna happen. Relegation. I don't know if you know what that is, but relegation essentially is where if you lose so much, if you what's it called? If you whenever you like lose on purpose, if you tank,
Yeah, tanking.
then
Yeah,
you get kicked out, and you go to Division 2, and
that's how it should be,
the
man.
Division 2 guy comes up. You have to win like twice or something like that, some crazy criteria. But yeah,
Hmm.
that's how Mexico has it. And then people are like, no, it's not fair because city lose out on stuff. It's like, well, yeah, dude, but like that's your city management, that's your city team. Like you should have been able to handle it better. I mean, you know what I mean? Like it's just
There's consequences, and like y'all didn't play by the rules, or what was going to happen. So now that's why y'all got demoted, and we got to give somebody else a shot because y'all were just slumping,
yeah,
tanking.
exactly. So I think that if the U.S. does switch to that at some point, I think it would really help them boost up their talent. But just how the MLS is working right now, just kind of pushing and pushing, and just kind of really just getting more play. That's the important part. Make sure it's that the players play, because in soccer, dude, like well, I mean, in every sport, it's obviously playing games matters, but in soccer, like just playing games is for experience is so valuable. Just because you get exposed to so many different styles, not just within your team, but within like trying to defend the other style. It's really cool. So MLS, good job for that. Continue on.
Now, one thing I wanted to ask you before we conclude or keep going was about you know currently we're like what less than a year away from the World Cup in Qatar. Is almost
Yeah,
about a year away.
yeah.
And I think there might have been, some international players that we have here in the states playing MLS, but their native countries, maybe they're still in the running to try to even make it to the World Cup. Uh, I don't think maybe like Argentina, for example, they might have had a few players playing here in the stateside. I don't know if like this whole postseason for MLS, what if they give these players like an ultimatum, like, "Hey, we need you back home because like we're trying to even get to the World Cup. Like, where are your priorities at? Like MLS don't mean shit. We want to get to the national stage." So I don't know if that's ever if you have any examples of that. Maybe you're abroad with the Premier League, where players are forced to choose between the National League and their current clubs that they're playing for.
I mean, yeah, it happens to Mexico a lot. I just like, just specifically just because I'm wearing Mexico shirt right now. Sometimes like where it's like there's too many guys that play the same position. Like imagine you have like Kyrie, Curry, and Lillard. Like what the hell? What the hell am I doing? Do like they're the same person. Just like different flavor, and whatever. You know what I mean, with their own style. So it comes to that where like it's like, look, dude, like And that's exactly what Tosco and I were talking about the other day. We're like, technically, you can't really force players to play for their country. It should be like an honor, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of like, what we're talking with FIBA, or the World Cup for basketball. But in soccer, it's just more like that, where it's just like, if you get called up by your country, dude, it's like a huge honor. Now, for the big guys, the big, 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 big stars that make like a crazy amount of money, it's kind of a big deal. Like, okay, well, I'm gonna go. Like, I better get playing time. Messi doesn't want to go with Argentina for him to start on the bench. You know what I mean? Like, in the World Cup. When it comes to the MLS, how they're now they have a lot of players out, like in Europe now. And my favorite team, Chelsea, they have the kid, what's his face? Oh my god! I literally just had him in my.
Chelsea, okay, has a kid from what's his face? From which country? Which nationality?
From U.S.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I don't know his name. It's your favorite guy.
No, it's actually not my favorite guy, but he's Pulisic, Christian Pulisic. So right now he's kind of like really being the future of the U.S. I think that the MLS, even though you can't really force players to come back and play for the country, I think you should kind of position it where like, hey, like yeah, because it's obviously it's their career. They can say no if they want, but just be like, hey, man, it's an honor. Like not an honor, but kind of like put it more like it's for your country type of thing. And I feel like in the U.S., more than any other country, we're more individualistic rather than like when it comes to country, when it comes to sports. Even though we're like, oh yeah, we're the number one. But I was like, but I want to win against my fellow same person. Like we're just competitive that way. So the MLS is gonna do good. I don't know if it's gonna. So an example would be like it's like we're kind of talking, would be again Mexico, where like they have to pick and choose. Some players just don't want to because I'm not gonna play. I think at the end of the day, it's up to the management team to really build that environment, where it's just like, dude, I want to play for Mexico, for my team, and you see a lot of teams, a lot of players from the U.S. They're from like, like a Russian ass name, like guy from
Eastern European.
Honduras, yeah, like like what? How is he playing there? Why is he American? Well, yeah, first of all, we have all the nationalities or whatever, right? But now we can bring people like I'm gonna play for the U.S. They're doing pretty good, and I can live in the U.S. So it's like that type of thing where like the U.S. should really kind of take advantage of that, and just kind of learn, build an environment where like play for your country because it's like the honorable thing to do, but just kind of start building that culture, which I think they're doing now.
Okay, a bit of like we're saying in the same thing. We're back with baseball, just trying to make the sport a little bit more popular, more more widely viewed. I think soccer still, you know, not the obviously not the major thing to watch here in the U.S., but we're getting the fan bases get more and more into the games, and our own national team is getting some recognition. We got a lot of young guys on the squad who hopefully can get us into the World Cup, or if we're not already qualified, to get qualified, and get us back to at least some contention. Because always like U.S. is not known for its soccer players so much, or whatever players we do have end up getting poached by teams abroad. It happens. It's the
Yeah.
business of the game. But yeah, just getting our fan bases. Hopefully, that the MLS Cup, has I don't know what stadium they're playing at. Hopefully, the fans show out. It's televised. Uh, Maybe the future, more and more MLS games could be televised without having to have a certain subscription to a certain channel. Um, it could take its place in the pantheon of U.S. sports. And before I keep rambling on, that's all I got to say. So no, go Timbers, go New York FC, Austin FC. We love you. We'll be back for you next season. At G2
Nice.
Stadium.
So real quick, I'm gonna do some Champions League news real quick and around the
Go ahead,
16.
man.
Yeah. So
Go
in
for
this
it.
case, so as you guys know,
What do we know?
Barcelona did not make the Champions League round at 16 for the first time in a long while. Yeah, I know. Let me put
Oh
some
no!
music in here. Let's see, put some music. Let's see.
What happened, man? What
All right.
happened to
So,
them?
all right. So in this case, just the standings. So just a couple of the teams that did make it. We'll just kind of go up. It's gonna be Man City, PSG, obviously Messi, with PSG and Messi and a whole bunch of crazy people in the PSG. So and Man City. I mean, Man City was set to win it last year. Liverpool did a top Group B with Atletico Madrid. Ajax and Sporting did go past as well. Real Madrid and Inter. Bayer in that group and Benfica actually made it. So Benfica made it with 8 points. Barcelona did not make it with 7. So they lost 3. They lost 3 games. Points are super valuable. In champions, you don't have Messi, you don't have your old reliables anymore. A lot of the team was getting old, so you have a lot of new guys. We'll see what happens. So you have Man City, Villarreal passing through, Lao, you got RB Salzburg as well, Juventus, and of course my Chelsea going through into the round of 16. Just a couple of people missing. Obviously, was Barca. I'm a big Barca fan. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a big Messi fan too. I don't really like PSG, but I like Messi. That's crazy, dude. You know, although might have following sometimes. It's just, like it's just one of those things where like you just. The other one is Dortmund. They did not make it either. So they'll be playing. Actually, third place. Actually does play in the Europa League group stage. So we'll actually be watching Chelsea or Dortmund and Barcelona actually top that as well. Just like kind of quick news. I mean, just the new low for now for Barcelona. Obviously they're not making pass around the 16. It's just an era in soccer. There's a lot of teams that are getting a lot better. The cap is very different between country to country, team to team. The Champions League is always going to be tough. Like it just is. I think that. I mean, people are like, no, Chelsea won last year on a fluke. Like whatever. If you win, you win. That's just the bottom line. They played better. I think this year it's going to be very different. They have a lot newer player. I think Pulisic is going to play a bigger role. And that honestly that only helps the U.S. Because they have that attacker getting that experience in there. But yeah, essentially that's kind of just a quick Champions League news updates and round of 16. We'll go a little bit more into that. My MVP is, unfortunately, as much as I don't really like him, is Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, that dude is carrying people, dude. He just straight up put the team on his back and just started carrying Man U into the new into the round of 16 Champions League. It's gonna be very interesting. I think the new upcoming matches are gonna be. I think they need to announce some. Hold on. So there's going to be a draw. So the draw does take place on the 13th of December. So it's going to be on Monday. So this Monday, it's going to be the round of 16 draw. So what you do is the 16 teams I named, they made the round of 16. So normally it's like kind of like the bracket where Group A, Group B, or whatever. But for champions, like as long as you make it to 16, you get thrown back into a drawing board or into a draw, and in the draw you just go from there, and just make the to make it like equal seating, if you will. But yeah, so you guys check it out. It's gonna be on 13. It is going to be to Switzerland, because in Switzerland is actually the UEFA headquarters, believe it or not. So I don't know what time it's going to be. I mean, you might be looking at like some 2-3 in the morning type of stuff. If you would just want to, maybe YouTube it later on, or make sure you go on Twitter and catch those updates as well. Again, it's going to be the 13th of December. That's a Champions League round of 16 draw for 2021-22.
13. So that's like what? Monday?
On Monday. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know what time. You guys need to check. Let's see. It says it's like 6 a.m. Eastern time. So yeah, you guys might be at work. You might have to like TiVo it or whatever, record it.
Yeah. We'll listen to it like on a streaming service. Just listen to it on your drive, your commute to work.
Yeah, because it's 6 a.m. So for us, it's gonna be 7 a.m. So yeah, by the time you're like up and like have to take a shower or you're getting ready,
You said 6 a.m. Eastern time?
Yes.
That's actually 5 a.m. for us.
Is it?
I think.
No, it's the other way. No.
Eastern's always earlier than us.
Ah.
So if it's 3 p.m. Eastern, then it's like 2 for us.
Oh, yeah. I always get those confused. Whatever. All right. So it's going to be 5 a.m. So yeah, you guys can wake up. Don't make the coffee yet. Just wake up, drink the orange juice. Like, watch it, and then go back to sleep.
When you're in line for like half an hour at Starbucks, you could catch some of this like on your phone or just listen to it on some radio streaming, whatever.
Yeah. So.
All right, cool. December Monday.
But yeah, but that should be it for me. In terms for any.
No, that's good. We're definitely going to continue on with our soccer or football talk as we keep progressing in the season. MLS, yeah, they'll be ending, but there's still a lot of soccer to be played abroad, and that's where you come in, buddy.
Oh yeah, dude. We'll probably get a couple more super fans in here as well to try to see if we can get more exposure that way. But all right, guys, what it sounds like. Wait. Oh, yep. Is that alarm? So it looks like we're getting towards the end of today's show.
Oh. But no, yeah, we had a lot of fun. Glad y'all could join us. A shout out to all of the people commenting on YouTube and or Twitch. I think our boy Alex out there is talking. Let's talk UTSA. He says the Roadrunners are going to win by 90 against the Aztecs. I think on YouTube you might have missed our marquee a bit, Danny. You put a week 10. He said college football, NFL week 10. We're week 14, bro. You're a couple of weeks behind.
Yeah, I did.
But that's okay. We're definitely going to talk a lot more UTSA. Right. I think in the coming week, we'll do a whole bowl preview of all the college games, all the funny named sponsors and all that. That's going to be a lot of good fun on that. But kudos to you, Alex.
We're gonna do a pick'em. So you guys check that out. Also, we are gonna start doing a couple raffle for the holidays as well. You guys check it out. We'll start giving out some things. All right.
All right. And the kudos to Judith Atkins. I'm not sure exactly what you put. Said something FYI. And then a Miss Doreen or Miss Doreen. I can't really say what it is. That's also the same comment. If you're spamming us, please don't. If you're hating on us, just keep it clean. But thank you for your support. Look forward to your future comments. And currently in the snooze fest of a football game, I actually turned around. Current score, Vikings are up 36. Steelers are at 28. There's still 4 minutes left.
Okay.
Still 4 minutes left, and this is a game again.
I was going to say, I might just continue watching this game myself. Shit.
I will. But as for our show, we are going to conclude. Danny, take us home, buddy.
All right, guys. So again, let's go ahead and put that siren on. All right, guys. So go ahead and that's gonna be it for this week's episode. Thank thank you guys so much for listening to us, chilling out with us today. Go ahead and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. Be sure to check out our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iTunes, or our Heart Radio coming soon. Thank you so much to all of our sponsors. Music and graphics provided by Studio 13th Day. This is Danny BMD signing off, saying later to all. Thank you guys to follow us and subscribe. Bring it home, Art. Whoop!
Thank you, Dan. The lesson of the day is I don't have one. But if you're in the San Antonio area and you want your car's interior looking brand new, there's a guy we know who worked like a dog for you. That is Devil Dog Detailing. Devil Dog! That's right. Devil Dog in San Antonio. Boy, Evan. Hit him up. So, remember, sports are great and mean nothing without y'all, the fans. This was episode number 85. Until next time, folks, be cool, stay safe, and keep on listening to Mezzo Forte Sportz. Oh my God, I fucking love you guys. Oh, thank you, girl. Enjoy your weekend, folks. We'll see you next time.
Aye. Dude, we gotta do a reality show, bro. Just have like a camera follow us, like Super Mario.
Creep.
Super Mario 64.
Creep. Too much creepy. Give me beer, dude. Oh my God, this game is fucking a snooze fest, and now Steelers finally got Big Ben to run.
Got Big Ben to run.
He did do a little shuffle.
Big Ben
Can of corn.
needs 2 tanks of oxygen.